Moses stood before the Pharaoh with a staff and withered hand. Said the God of all the Hebrews says, let my people leave this land. Pharaoh's heart was hard as granite, full of pride and full of fear. And I don't know your God, he answered, and your slaves are staying here. So the river that they worship ran like judgment through the streets, turned to blood beneath their sandals, stained their buckets, stained their feet. Egypt's glory, Nile's lifeline, tasted like a funeral song. Yet he still refused to listen, still kept chains where they belong. There was blood in the river, darkness in the noon, slow blues of a stubborn ruler who kept saying not too soon. Hail and locusts, frogs in darkness, firstborn crying in each room. When you fight against the maker, you just dance toward your doom. Frogs came climbing into bedrooms, into ovens, into beds. Gnats like dust in every corner, swarms of flies around their heads. Livestock dying on the pastures, bulls on skin like burning coal. Thunder, hail that crushed their harvests, every plague go on and told. Still he hardened up his spirit, played with yes and then with no. Watched his land fall into pieces, watched his idols lose their glow. There was darkness thick as velvet, sitting heavy on their eyes. Yet he stumbled in his ego, could not bow, could not be wise. There was blood in the river, darkness in the noon, slow blues of a broken kingdom cracking like a fragile moon. Every plague a louder sermon from a God who rules the tide, but a king with stone-cold heartbeat chose his chariots and pride. Sometimes mercy sends us warnings, little tremors in our days, but we shake them off like insects, find another God to praise. We get frogs in all our moments, hell that shatters what we've stored, but we'd rather hold our power than surrender to the Lord. Then he spoke a final judgment, last and fiercest bitter blow. Every firstborn in this nation, from the palace to below. Yet he offered one more shelter, blood upon the wooden frame, for his people in the shadows, hiding underneath his name. Egypt's night was filled with wailing, angels passing, doors undone, while the homes with crimson markings sheltered every daughter's son. And the heart that once said never finally broke beneath the strain. Take your people, leave this country, he cried out through tears and pain. There was blood in the river and on doorposts in the night. Slow blues turned into freedom for the ones beneath that sign. Every plague that shook the empire showed that God is Lord alone. You can fight him, you can fear him, but you'll never shake his throne. So I listen to this story in a bar with dimming lights. Ask what idols hold me captive, where I fight his loving might. If he whispers through my troubles, let me hear before I break. Bow my heart before the plagues fall, for my soul and for his sake.